Hello everyone. We are going to cover the enhancements made to hierarchies in 15.9 version of Clarity. So what's new? We've made several usability improvements to hierarchy in 15.9. Specifically, we've done the import enhancements where when you're trying to import something into hierarchy, we will use the object grid. The hierarchy card names now have the ability to wrap words if you have a long name. We also have the ability to expand and collapse the children of a hierarchy. We have added the right-click context-sensitive menu. This allows the users to be able to take action directly against those card items. And then finally, you can double-click on a specific card item to open it up, review the details, and then come back to your hierarchy. Why is this important? So we rolled out hierarchy a few releases back, and as our customers are using it, there were several usability improvement requests that came directly from our customers. Based on those feedbacks, we have made all of these changes to help customer adopt hierarchy in their organization. So the first improvement is in regards to the ability to import using the object-specific common grid. So in my example, I'm trying to import projects, and as soon as I try to import projects, I'm seeing the project grid layout itself. This means I can see the different views that I might have for my project grid. I have the ability to see all the different projects. I can add the different columns to be able to filter for the specific projects I want to pull in. I can add columns to my grid layout to see specific data to ensure I'm pulling in the right investment types into my hierarchy, as well as I can even expand and maybe modify some data from right there if I wanted to, provided I have the appropriate access. And then finally, if I have all of this done, I even have the option to just export all of this out for my reference as to what are the different fields or investments that I am pulling in. The card name now wraps. So if you have a card name that's really long, in the past, we used to just display an ellipse at the end of the card name to indicate that the name is too long and we can only show so much. However, based on customer feedback, we have changed it where now the card name will wrap to 2 lines. If your card name is longer than 2 lines, then you will see the ellipse, but having the longer name displayed in 2 lines allowed our customers to be able to see specifically which investment that they're working on. As part of that change, you would also see that if the card name wraps, we will then collapse the middle line, which in this example, the start and finish date just gets collapsed. So you will only see the top line, and then you will see the metrics that were added. We've added the ability to expand and collapse different sections of the hierarchy. Now the cards that have children will have an icon displayed at the bottom of it. The plus and the minus icon will really indicate if a specific card's children are expanded or collapsed, and you can click on that icon to take the appropriate action that if they are collapsed, you can expand it and vice versa. If a card does not have any icon, then you know that there are no children associated with that specific card. Collapsing a card's child will also collapse all its levels below. So the way the collapse works is you can collapse a specific card, and this way every child and its grandchildren are all collapsed. Similarly, you can expand that child and it'll expand all its grandchildren and so on. We've added the right-click context menu. And this right-click context menu it's context sensitive. which means based on the card you perform the right mouse click on, the context, the menus will be displayed accordingly. The different combinations of those context sensitive menu is displayed right here, which is you can either just say hide children or delete the card, hide children and hide parent. So if I am depending on if my card has a parent as well as a child, then I will see this context menu. If I don't have any children but only a parent, then I can hide my parent or delete. If the children are collapsed, then I can either expand all or only show my children and not my grandchildren, or show all the children. So the context sensitive menu will be displayed based on the different cards and the children that the card might have. The option to delete a card will be in all the context menus, so you always have that option to delete the selected card. We've also added the ability to double click on a card and open it up to be able to make the respective changes to that investment that you are double clicking on. Once the investment is opened up, you can review, make changes, and then finally navigate back to the hierarchy by clicking on the hierarchy name on the top left. With that, let's go into the actual demo and see how this functionality will work. So I'm in my 15.9. I'm going to go into my hierarchies to be able to see the different hierarchies that I have. I am going to open and review my medical center hierarchy that I've defined. This is the hierarchy I'm using as my executive dashboard to be able to see my medical centers across the nation. So as I come in here, I can see all my different medical centers pretty much laid out in a hierarchical form. Here are the different medical centers. Here are all the different either projects or investments that I've made in those respective medical centers. I can zoom in to see specific data for those. And as you can see, the first thing is I have my Los Angeles building purchase, which is a long name for my investment. And it is double wrapped, it is word wrapped, which allows me to see the entire name. Because it is word wrapped, I see that the middle line, which is my third and fourth value in the card, is hidden. But if I continue to zoom, then those values become available to me to reference. I can zoom out and see that the line now disappears. The rest of the information is still available. The cards that have children, here is the new icon that allows me to hide the children for that specific card. So I can, if I don't want to see the investments I'm doing to within my Good Health Medical Center, I can just collapse that. Similarly, if I don't want to see my investments for Ashram, I can just collapse that. And now they're both gone, and the icon is replaced with a plus, indicating that this specific investment has some children that if I want to see, I can expand and see it. If I continue to collapse several of these, and now I'm only looking at one investment's children, after I've done with my review, I want to reopen all the children. I can now use the right mouse click context. So this, the very first option available to me is expand all. Using that will open up all the children's that might have been for each investments that I have. Continuing on, if I want to only, in my hierarchy, just focus on a specific medical center. So I just want to see all the investments I've done to Ashram and all the work that's going on. I don't want to see everything else around it. So I can just say right mouse click and hide the parent. Hide parent will basically hide this specific investment's parent, and then all the children for that parent except the one that I'm trying to review. So let's look at that. So you can see all the other noise around it is now hidden. I can focus my attention on just the investments I'm doing for the Ashram Medical Center that has all the different investments. I can review it. I can zoom in now and look at it. Once I'm done, I can just right mouse click and I can say show my parent, in which case only my parent is then displayed. So again, this allows me to continue to focus on what I want to look at and then expand as I want to see more, or I can say just expand all and everything then becomes available. If I wanted to import any additional investments or projects that are going on, I can go into import and I can pull in projects. And when I do that, you can see the import is using the same common grid as projects. This allows me to see all the respective views that might have been defined, whether it's the default view that my admin has set up or my favorite views that I would want to use. I can add additional columns to my view to see additional data that'll help me determine which specific projects I want to pull into my hierarchy. Or I can just go into the detailed and then leverage the same information from right here. If there was any specific slight modification I wanted to do, I can do that from right here also. And once done, I can just select the ones I want. We have a visual indicator, which all items I have selected. I can either select individually or I can say select all. So based on my search criteria, I can find multiple investment and just click on select all. Tells me how many items have been selected. And then I can click on add to include that in my hierarchy. Or I can say, well, no, that's too many. I can deselect all and then go back and select individually. And as I do that, I see the number of items selected and then the add button to include that in my hierarchy. And finally, if I wanted to see the ashram details, I can double click on it. That opens it up for me to review it in detail. I can see all the data. I can make modifications where I have access to. And once done, I can then go back to my hierarchy and then see the hierarchy again. All right. With that concludes my demo of the product.